Ever since I've published my video about the D850 and is it too many megapixels, I've gotten a lot of comments and there's been a lot of dialogue about how that's important, and better, more megapixels is always better. Well, is it? I want to know if you're the kind of photographer who strives to see what's the word I'm looking for? Technically perfect photo, I guess. Yeah, that's what I would go with. Do you want your images to just be razor sharp all the time, no questions asked, no artistic flair, anything like that? Or are you one of the types of photographers that wants motion blur deliberately introduced to tell the story of someone walking down the street? Or do you want them tack sharp, perfectly frozen in time? Because if you're wanting artistic images, then does the D850 really bring what you need to the table? I mean, really, if you're shooting with a 30-year-old lens like this one, and it's got pretty good glass on it, it's all manual, and it's a really interesting lens to shoot with. Does it really have that much bearing on the D850's performance? What I have here is a D810, and currently I'm running the 35 to 70 push-pull zoom, the one that kind of predates the 24 to 70 that everybody uses now. And this is a really great piece of glass. People will knock it because it ain't the latest and greatest, but this lens captures stunningly good images. It is the screw drive focus, so you will need a body that has a screw drive focus motor in it. It has the focus motor in the body. But a lot of my lenses, this beautiful 105 millimeter f2 DC, built-in lens hood, the whole 9 yards, gorgeous piece of glass, huge aperture. This lens has the screw drive autofocus. It's this little function right here. There's a little tiny, it looks like a flat tip screwdriver socket. That's where the camera engages it and drives the focus back and forth on the lens. You don't need the electric super fast silent wave motor whiz bang focus to get good images. You just don't need it. Even if you're a working pro, this lens is a gorgeous piece of glass for portraiture. If you've got room to use it, because it is 105 millimeters, and 85 lets you get closer, so you don't need as big of a studio. And I've got quite a few Nikkor lenses just floating around. I mean, I've got 2 of these things. The 70 to 210 push-pull zoom f4. It works really well. It's a good lens. It's got this little nifty macro feature for focus. Allows you to dial it into macro mode here. It's got a little function on it and allows it to focus closer than 1:1, I guess. But it actually takes a reasonably good macro shot. I use it with my Sony A7 II. I've got an adapter on it that allows me to mount it to the Sony. And that's my telephoto lens for my Sony, because the Sony has focus peaking. And my eyes are getting a little bit of age on them, so I'm already wearing glasses. So the fact that the camera will talk to me and tell me that it's in focus, and show me where the focus is at on the screen, it helps me make a better exposure. It helps me make sure that the subject's in focus that I want. Is it a perfect lens? No, it has issues, but that's part of what I like about photography, is the character that the lenses bring to the table. They don't produce technically perfect images. If they did take technically perfect images, everybody would take the same pictures. I don't see the need in pushing megapixels to the next level, to the next level, to the next level, to space. They've already got sensors that are over 100 megapixels. I mean, well, the phase 1 is 100 megapixel sensor. I mean, those images are huge. So, that just drives, it's a self-driving market. You're not worried about taking photographs. You're worried about acquiring the next piece of equipment that's gonna get you basically macro photography with a 28mm lens 4 feet away. You know, you'll be able to crop down to 1mm by 1mm, and it'll be 30 megapixels inside that little space, and you're basically shooting macro without even buying a macro lens. What are your thoughts? Do you feel that camera companies should continue to push the megapixel count of the sensors higher and higher and higher, or is enough and I guess low light performance would be kind of handy to where you could use ISO 25,000 or whatever it is that, you know, so that like wedding photographers can take pictures inside of churches without having to fire flashes. You know, they're already restricted by dimly lit venues and things like that. But for the hobbyists like me, does a 70 and a 100 and a 200 megapixel sensor really help me be a better photographer? Or is it a crutch that allows me to cheat by taking a 28mm lens, slapping it on my camera, shooting a bug, and then just cropping it from this picture this big down to just a little teeny scribble of a square and getting a macro photo and just buying one lens? Because if I did that, I could just use this iPhone. So what are y'all thoughts? Leave them in the comments. If you like my channel, hit the subscribe button. I've noticed in my analytics that like 92% of my viewers are not subscribers. So if y'all made it this far in the video, hit the subscribe button. If you think the megapixels of the sensor needs to keep going up, let me know. I would like to know what your thoughts are on that, because it just seems like they're pushing sensor technology to ridiculous. And yeah, I get it. You know, 15 years ago, an 8 megapixel sensor would have been enormous. And, you know, those guys were printing large prints with 8 megapixel files. It was more work. You know, if you want to print a 50 megapixel file, you can enlarge that. You can enlarge it a lot. You know, so if, you know, it has its purpose. I get that. So don't bash on me because you think I'm bashing that, because, you know, I'm shooting with 36 megapixels right now. And these files are pretty big. They're 40 megabytes a piece on average coming into the computer. So, you know, if I shoot 1600 images, it'll be quite a few gigabytes of files. You know, it just seems like every time a camera comes out, you end up needing to buy new memory cards, a new computer, updated software, and, you know, just to upgrade your body, you suddenly have to invest $6,000 or $10,000. And why? You were taking beautiful images just a week before with your old camera. So continue using the one you have, you know, and unless, of course, you know, you're a person who enjoys technical products. If you enjoy collecting equipment, there is absolutely nothing wrong with collecting equipment. You know, I like to collect the older lenses, the old screwdriver Nikors, the AIs and AIS manual focus Nikors. I like these. I love these old lenses. It's just, you know, that's what I like. Everybody has their own thing. You know, would I take a brand new 70 to 200 with the fluoride element in it? Oh yeah, I'd love one of those. Yes, the new one's faster focusing or whatever, and it's a smidge sharper. I'm getting beautiful images out of this one. You know, enjoy the hobby. Enjoy the aspect of the hobby that appeals to you. That's what I think. If the hobby is appealing to you to collect new equipment or to upgrade your camera, you know, every time the new body drops, go get it. For what I like to shoot, it doesn't bring anything to the table for me. So I've decided that I'm gonna shoot D810s for a while, probably until the replacement for the D850 actually comes out. Whatever its replacement is, I'll skip a couple of generations is what I'll do. Because the D810 is a gorgeous camera, works beautifully. And I just can't possibly fathom how just a few more megapixels will make it that much better for me. And that's all I got tonight.